Captain Elena Reyes had rehearsed humanity's first speech to the Galactic Council 37 times. She was composed, efficient, and determined to prove that Earth was ready for its place among the stars. But she had not prepared for the one variable that doomed almost every human endeavor: outdated software. Translator AI synced, reported Dr. Ashwin Patel, lead systems engineer and chronic tinkerer. Diagnostics, mostly green, slightly yellow, nothing that screamed catastrophe. You say that every time, Reyes replied without looking at him. She adjusted the cuff of her formal uniform, then straightened her posture as the council chamber doors opened. The Galactic Council was a vast ring of bioluminescent seats and alien delegations. Each represented a species older than recorded human history. Some floated, some clicked. One simmered faintly like heated metal. Humanity's delegation, 5 nervous humans and a flickering AI projector, had never felt so small. Reyes stepped forward. The council quieted. She gave the signal to Ash. The AI translated her opening words into 211 languages simultaneously. Honored delegates, humanity extends its hand in peace. That was what she said. What the Kawarax, the most feared species in the galaxy, heard instead was, "We claim strategic dominance over your territory." The chamber erupted in horrified screeches, clacks, and flashes of warning lights. Alien assistants dubbed behind consoles. 2 species demanded emergency evacuation. 1 delegation just fainted. Stop the translation," Reyes hissed. Ash frantically slammed commands onto his wrist console. "It's not me," he protested. The software updated itself mid-sentence. It auto-corrected diplomacy into conquest. A shadow fell across the chamber. The KY-Rax representative rose from its seat, twice Reyes' height and covered in black, organic plating that flexed as though alive. Its voice resembled gravel being hurled through a turbine. "Humanity," it said, "this is your declaration of war. Your terms will be answered with extinction." The lights dimmed. The council withdrew their attention, like a tide pulling away from shore. Humanity, once welcomed with curiosity, was now given a wide and fearful distance. Reyes turned slowly toward Ash. "You just started a war with the deadliest species in the galaxy," she said. Ash swallowed. Technically, Captain the AI did, which, Reyes thought bitterly, would be difficult to court-martial. Hours later, humanity's delegation occupied the smallest and newly quarantined diplomatic chamber in council history. Its walls pulsed with a faint silver hue, marking a containment zone. Reyes studied the incoming messages from Earth, each more frantic than the last. "They want to know if we can clarify things," she said. "If we try, we might make it worse," Ash replied. "With that logic," said Maya Sullivan, astrophysicist and idealist, "we might as well just surrender to avoid miscommunication." "I didn't say surrender," Ash replied. "I said maybe use smoke signals next time." Maya smiled faintly. She had always believed peaceful contact was not only possible, it was inevitable. The universe, she liked to say, didn't run on fear but curiosity. Reyes admired her optimism, but found it hard to share at the moment. A metallic thump echoed by the door. Corporal Diego Boomer Vasquez stepped into the room, battle suit half-fastened, helmet under his arm. "Good news," he said cheerfully. "Security just informed me we're officially classified as unstable primates." "Wonderful," Reyes replied dryly. "Do we receive a certificate?" "Just a warning sign," Boomer said. "They're posting them outside." Reyes rubbed her eyes. "This is not how I imagined my diplomatic career." "It could be worse," Boomer said. "They could have classified us as predators." Ash checked his console. "Actually," he said, "they just updated us to that." The silence that followed had a distinct weight to it. Finally, Maya spoke softly. "We need to contact the KY-Rax and apologize. If we admit the mistake." "They don't believe in mistakes," Ash interrupted. "Their culture sees error as weakness. They view unpredictability as aggression. Trying to explain might be seen as an excuse for cowardice." Reyes exhaled slowly. "So we can't apologize and we can't fight. Any suggestions?" Boomer raised a hand. "Have we tried confusing them on purpose?" Ash blinked. Why would we do that? It's what we do best, Boomer said. You ever watch humanity's history? We win by messing things up till everyone else gives up. I think that's called chaos strategy, Maya said. I call it Tuesday, Boomer replied. Reyes almost smiled, but the weight of command pressed back. She stood and addressed the room. We only have one priority now: survival. We need time, information, and a way to contact Earth without alarming them further. Dr. Patel, stabilize the translation AI. Maya, study KYRX communication patterns. Find something we can work with. Boomer, cause trouble, he guessed. No, she said, then reconsidered. Not yet. The door chimed. A sterile message flickered across the room's main display. Galactic Council Decree. Human Delegation. K02-87TA. You have one solar rotation to surrender. After that, extinction will commence. Reyes read the words without expression. Captain, Ash said quietly, what do we do? She studied the screen for a moment. She thought of Earth, of history books filled with desperate adaptation, of human creativity forged under pressure. She thought of Boomer's grin and Maya's hope. She thought of Ash, who could turn scrap into solutions. And finally, she thought of the one unspoken truth of her species. Humans never survive by playing the game. They survive by changing it. Reyes looked at her crew. Ash, she said calmly, how bad would it be if we tried to negotiate? Ash opened a new window on his console. On a scale of 1 to catastrophic, it's hold my beer. Reyes nodded once. Then we start immediately. The screen dimmed as the chamber lights faded to a warning red. War had already begun. Now it was humanity's turn to respond. The first strike landed 6 hours after the Council's ultimatum. No warning. No measured display of force. The KYRX didn't believe in escalation. They believed in overwhelming conclusions. A wave of electromagnetic static rolled across human space like a sweeping storm. Communications shattered. Navigation systems wilted. Entire fleets found themselves adrift, flashing emergency beacons that no one could answer. In the observation deck of the human diplomatic vessel Shenandoah, Captain Reyes watched a swarm of KYRX drones appear on the horizon like dark pollen drifting through space. Their movements were perfect, mathematically precise, absolutely synchronized. It was beauty engineered into terror. First wave incoming, Boomer announced. His battlesuit was fully sealed now, visor down, voice modulated. He looked eager, almost relieved that something finally made sense again. Threats were familiar ground. How many? Reyes asked. Not sure, Ash responded from his console. They're switching frequencies faster than I can scan. Could be hundreds, could be thousands. But they're all locked on us like they've already written our obituary. Maya stood at the viewport, arms folded tightly. They fly as if a single mind controls them. Whatever leads them, it doesn't tolerate error. Then we'll need it to make some, Reyes replied. The drones fired. Energy pulses screamed past the shields, leaving jagged streaks of heat like claw marks across the hull. The Shenandoah shuddered. Maya grabbed the railing. Ash! Reyes called. Status. Shields are dropping faster than projected. They're using a modulation we've never seen, targeting structural resonance frequencies. Translation? Reyes asked. They're weaponizing our ship's vibrations against itself, Ash replied. They're literally shaking us apart. Boomer cracked his knuckles. Permission to deploy counterattack? Negative. Reyes said, this isn't a fight we win with fire. Boomer muttered, maybe not, but it's one we survive with it. Reyes didn't argue. She knew soldiers needed momentum as much as orders. Maya stepped forward. I've been watching their formations. They don't adjust or adapt, they respond, but only within fixed parameters. Their precision is their strength, but it's also a cage. Ash's eyes lit up. Predictable patterns mean exploitable patterns. Boomer nodded. And exploitable patterns means fireworks. Reyes felt something stir, something she hadn't allowed herself to feel since the war began. Hope. Ash, she said slowly, What can you do with their resonance frequency? Give me access to the maintenance supplies and 10 minutes, he answered. Maybe I can improvise a counter-frequency field. Basically, hit their math with bigger, dumber math. Go, Reyes ordered. Boomer, support him. Maya, help me buy them time. Boomer saluted. Time for chaos. They sprinted to the engineering deck. Alarms screamed around them. Ash started pulling parts from dispensers. Conductivity coils, gravimetric dampeners, a worn recycling processor, anything that could channel power. Boomer held up a microwave emitter. This useful? Ash blinked. Where did you get that? Crew lounge. Boomer, did you steal the kitchen again? Borrowed. He tossed it over, with enthusiasm. Ash sighed but took it anyway. Fine, but this is officially dumb. Dumb is our natural habitat, Boomer replied. Maya stayed with the captain on the bridge, quietly studying the enemy formations. She played their drone movements on repeat, watching every angle, every pivot. Look, she said softly. The KYRX swarm turned like a flock of birds, all synchronized, all neat. Too neat. They never break formation, Maya observed, even when they should. Reyes understood. They don't learn. Exactly, Maya said. Every strategic textbook in human history agrees on one thing. Perfect logic fails when the unexpected arrives. Then we deliver the unexpected, Reyes replied. Shenandoah took another hit. Lights flickered. But this time, the crew braced themselves instead of panicking. They were striking back, not with superior power, but with something far more volatile. Human creativity. Ash's voice crackled over the comm. Captain, the counter-frequency array is online. It's ugly, it's unstable, and it might blow up if Boomer sneezes, but it's ready. I sneezed once, Boomer defended. The ship only caught fire a little. Reyes nodded to Maya. Time it with their next surge. Maya watched the scanner. Now. Ash slammed the activation panel. The Shenandoah sang, not with alarms, but with a pulse. A stuttering, jagged rhythm that rippled across space like a broken heartbeat amplified to cosmic scale. KYRX drones faltered. Their formation hiccuped. A few spiraled out of control and collided. Others froze mid-flight, unable to recalculate. Maya leaned forward, staring in disbelief. It's working. Reyes allowed herself a small smile. Dr. Patel, you just confused the most efficient military in the galaxy. Boomer grinned, inside his helmet. They're learning what humans do best. Improvise? Ash asked. Break rules, Boomer said. A new alert flashed on the main display. Maya paled. They're adapting. Fast. Ash cursed. They're trying to stabilize their patterns. I can't push harder. The reactor's at critical tolerance. Reyes stood tall. Then we change the play. What do you suggest? Ash asked. Reyes looked over them. At the problem solver covered in grease, the soldier ready to leap into fire, and the scientists who still believed peace might be possible. She felt the weight of their hope and the force of their trust. We take the fight to them, she said. Maya stared. You mean their territory? Straight to their flagship, Reyes confirmed, before they adapt fully, before their logic catches up. Boomer's grin widened. Now that's a declaration of war. Ash hesitated. You realize our odds? I don't need odds, Reyes replied. I need initiative. A moment of stillness passed among the crew. Outside, the KYRX reformed, stronger than before, already adapting to the anomalies humans created. But inside the ship, a different kind of calculation began. Not one of data or tactics, but of nerve. Reyes sent the order. Prepare for infiltration. We aren't done confusing them yet. Maya whispered, We're going to try to negotiate, aren't we? Reyes nodded. One way or another. And as the Shenandoah pivoted toward enemy space, the next chapter of humanity's survival began, written in risk, fueled by ingenuity, and led by the one species a galaxy could never predict. The Shenandoah crossed into KYRX territory beneath a cloak of fluctuating signal noise, an accidental side effect of Ash's improvised counter-frequency array that now served as their only disguise. It made the ship flicker on enemy scanners like a dying star, unstable and unimportant. They were betting their survival on alien humility. Captain Reyes stood at the command console, watching the swirling void. Any sign they detected us? Ash scanned the telemetry. Their sensors sweep right through us. But they don't lock. They think our signal pattern indicates debris. Boomer leaned back in his chair. So we're trashed now. Finally, a mission that matches my emotional state. Stay focused, Reyes said, though her voice held a suppressed smirk. We're approaching their flagship. It emerged from the darkness, a colossal construct that shimmered with bioorganic plating and geometric precision. The KYRX dreadnought resembled a vast obsidian flower, petals slowly twisting as though searching for prey. Its gravitational pull disrupted nearby space, bending starlight into warped ripples. Maya stared in awe. They built a ship that looks like it's hunting. That isn't design, it's psychology. Or intimidation, Ash added. Reyes nodded. Either way, it means we have one chance, and no room for mistakes. Boomer cracked his neck. Great. My specialty. The plan was simple in theory and reckless in practice. Board the KYRX flagship, locate their central command mind, and present a direct plea or a direct challenge. Whatever earned survival. Maya had spent hours decoding fragments of KYRX communication and culture. She now believed that reasoning with them wouldn't require strength, but intent. They respect clarity, she explained. No metaphors, no apologies, just purpose. If we waver, they'll take it as weakness. And weakness is an invitation to erase us. Boomer finished. Got it. Say what you mean what you say. Reyes nodded. That's why you're staying here. Boomer blinked. What? You're our distraction, Boomer. If they deploy guards, you'll keep them busy. Boomer grinned slowly. That might be the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. Ash handed him a modified grav grenade. Try not to set anything irreversible on fire. I make no promises, Boomer replied proudly. Ash and Maya followed Reyes into the docking airlock. The Shenandoah extended a mechanical bridge toward the flagship's hull. Instead of metal, the contact point connected with something that pulsed, living plating that absorbed the magnetic seal as though tasting it. Maya's voice dropped. Their ship is partially conscious, Captain. Reyes' expression didn't change. So it listens? Good. Let it hear us coming. The airlock opened with a hiss. KYRX corridors stretched ahead. Organic architecture fused with crystalline conduits, lit by a pulse that seemed to echo in their bones. Nothing moved, yet everything watched. Keep your suits synced, Ash said quietly. This environment has adaptive systems. If it reads us wrong, it might try to blend us. I will not be blended, Reyes replied. Let's move. Their boots touched alien flooring that reacted like pressed water, rippling outward in waves. Maya recorded every reading, whispering observations like a prayer. This entire structure monitors gait, posture, heartbeat. It senses intention. Then steady yours, Reyes said. We walk with purpose. They moved deeper into the flagship. Doors opened without commands. Hallways shifted, turning their path into a narrowing funnel. Ash watched the readings. They're guiding us. Where? Maya asked. To their judge, Reyes said. The chamber waited at the end of the descending corridor. Vast, circular, built like an observatory but filled with shadows instead of stars. At its center stood a single KYRX entity, its plating gleaming like wet obsidian, its posture perfectly balanced between stillness and readiness. A voice emerged, not from its mouth, but from the chamber itself. Humanity enters. Purpose. Reyes stepped forward. We come to end the conflict between us. The chamber hesitated. Conflict is already end. Your extinction scheduled. Ash swallowed. Maya steadied him with a look. The captain never flinched. We are not here to alter your schedule, Reyes said firmly, only to prove we should remain on it. The walls vibrated subtly, as though the ship itself was reconsidering. The KYRX entity moved closer. Up close, it towered 3 meters tall. Talons flexed. Eyes remained expressionless, but aware. You are not strong, it said. Not fast. Not durable. You are mistakes given form. Reyes answered without hesitation. Yes, and mistakes are how we change. That caught its attention. The vibration stuttered. Ash realized, with a spark of hope, that the KYRX rarely encountered those who embraced imperfection. To them, evolution was a slow calculation, not a wildfire. They could not comprehend progress born from failure. Maya stepped forward gently. Your species fears error. Ours cultivates it. Our history is full of attempts that broke. So we rebuilt. The reason you can't predict us is because we never reach a final form. Silence stretched long enough to feel heavy. Finally, the KYRX spoke again. You are unstable. Yes, Rhea said, and that is why we survive. Suddenly, alarms blared through the chamber. Ash checked his calm and nearly cursed. Captain, they detected Boomer. Reyes tapped her wrist. Boomer, report. Static, then explosions, then Boomer's voice, laughing too loudly to be healthy. So it turns out this flagship has soldiers, and those soldiers don't like jazz fusion. Hold position, Reyes ordered. We're close. The KYRX warrior gazed at her. No anger, no visible fear, only curiosity. You send weakest to draw blades away. Not weakness, Reyes answered. Trust. Ash added, and noise. He's very good at noise. A flicker of something unfamiliar crossed the KYRX's features. Interest, human method. It said, strength through chaos. No, Reyes replied. Strength through adaptation. Chaos is just our fuel. The walls ceased to pulse. The air grew still. The KYRX warrior leaned forward slightly. Then declare your purpose once more. Reyes did not blink. We seek coexistence. We intend neither surrender nor conquest. We intend persistence. And for the first time since the war began, the KYRX did not object. The chamber lights dimmed. Then the voice of the ship spoke. Proceed. You are not yet erased. Reyes opened a comm. Boomer, new orders. Prepare for extraction. Boomer replied through panting breaths. Good timing. I'm improvising friendships through explosives. Maya smiled despite everything. Captain, I think we earned the next step. Reyes exhaled slowly. Then let's take it. They turned toward the inner doors, where negotiation or annihilation awaited. Either way, humanity was not done evolving. The innermost chamber of the KYRX flagship resembled a cathedral built by logic. Perfect symmetry, flawless angles, walls of living glass that pulsed with measured intelligence. Captain Reyes, Maya, and Ash stood at its center, surrounded by silent observers that watched with no emotion, yet complete attention. Every heartbeat felt amplified. Every breath landed like a question. Only one figure moved. The KYRX commander, tall, armored, and absolutely calm. Its voice echoed through the chamber. You seek survival. Reyes answered evenly. We seek understanding. Understanding, the commander replied, requires equivalence. Prove there exists a reason to tolerate you. Maya stepped forward. Her voice was soft, yet unwavering. We create value through change. We adapt not only to threats, but to possibility. We learn faster than we fail. Ash added, we don't avoid mistakes. We incorporate them. Improvement is recursive. The KYRX didn't react, but the chamber walls rippled faintly, as though recording every word. We have strength, Maya continued, but not through perfection. We succeed because we improvise. And when we work together, our potential increases beyond prediction. The commander tilted its head. Human unity is unstable. True, Reyes replied. Our conflicts shape us. And once shaped, we keep reshaping. The silence that followed trembled with tension. Then, without warning, the commander's arm extended, and a sphere of translucent plasma formed in its palm. It aimed directly at Reyes. Ash stepped forward instinctively. Wait! The commander spoke. Would you protect your superior? Reyes answered before Ash could. He's not inferior. He's essential. Maya's voice followed seamlessly. There is no superior in creation, only contribution. The plasma remained charged. The commander's posture did not shift, but its eyes changed. It was subtle. A minute dilation, a curious trace of recognition. You select defense over hierarchy, it observed. We select collaboration over ego. Reyes said, our strength is collective. We are not perfect, but we are complementary. Maya added softly, and complementary systems endure. Slowly, the plasma faded. The commander lowered its arm. Imperfection as strategy, it murmured. It turned toward the chamber walls. Council access. The walls glowed with distant constellations and alien symbols, an encrypted channel to the Galactic Council. The commander broadcasted a single message. Humanity is not conquest. Humanity is evolution. A pause. Then, recommend ceasefire. Reyes felt the moment ripple across her soul, the shock wave of possibility displacing fear. They had spoken not as soldiers nor diplomats, but as humans, and somehow it had worked. Extraction teams retrieved them from a flagship. Boomer emerged last, slightly singed, still humming the jazz fusion that had started an interstellar fistfight. As he boarded the Shenandoah, Ash raised a brow. Good mission? Boomer grinned. I made 3 enemies and 2 friends. The ratio is improving. Maya laughed for the first time in days. Boomer, what did you tell them? Simple, he said proudly. I told them humans handle anxiety through percussion and sarcasm. Reyes covered her eyes. They'll think sarcasm is a weapon now. It is, Boomer said. We just haven't weaponized it officially. 1 week later, the Galactic Council convened. Humanity stood not in quarantine, but in full diplomatic view. The chamber felt different now. Not safer, but respectful. The KYRX delegation observed with calculated interest, as though evaluating an enigma that refused to be solved. The council speaker addressed Reyes. Captain, will humanity comply with collaborative defense protocols? Reyes replied, we will if collaboration includes creativity. Murmurs followed, but no opposition. The council ratified the ceasefire. A new classification was added to the registry of known species. Homo sapiens, level 10 adaptive threat. Recommended policy, negotiation before conflict. Boomer whispered to Maya, we got promoted, and menacingly, too. Maya smiled. Not menace. Potential. Ash nodded. Potential is menace to rigid systems. Reyes glanced around the chamber. For the first time since arriving, she saw opportunity instead of danger. Humanity would not dominate this galaxy, but it would not disappear, either. It would integrate and reinvent. Earth received the news in waves of disbelief, elation, and debate. Humans argued, as they always did, but beneath it ran a pulse of pride. They had survived first contact, not through superior weapons, but superior creativity. Ash presented new research on hybrid technology, merging human innovation with alien architecture. His first prototype was a translation device that corrected intent, not words. He named it the Clarifier. Maya began teaching cross-species communication strategies to council delegates. She called her class the linguistics of possibility. Boomer launched a popular interstellar channel titled Tactical Improvisation, where he demonstrated practical chaos for survival situations. 1 episode was banned on 5 planets. 3 adopted it into their military curriculum. Reyes, the first human ambassador with a war record shorter than her diplomatic one, stood before the council once more. She did not speak of victory. She spoke of potential. Our strength, she said, lies not in domination, but collaboration. We do not seek to be feared, only understood. And when we are not understood, our adaptability becomes our voice. The council recorded her words. The KYRX commander nodded once, the smallest gesture of respect their species had ever given. With the formality concluded, Reyes stepped off the platform. Maya joined her. Do you think they'll trust us? Eventually, Reyes said. Ash approached, or they'll keep testing us. Boomer appeared last, lifting his helmets. That's fine. We test well. The group stood at the edge of the chamber, young and human, and utterly uncertain of the future. Yet none of them felt fear. Instead, there was anticipation. Maya took a slow breath. What do you think people will call this first chapter of humanity among the stars? Reyes paused and answered softly, the chapter where we rewrote the rules. And though the council dismissed the day, though the chamber emptied of sound and light, a single annotation remained on the official record. Congratulations! You've just declared war on the most adaptable species in the galaxy, and they accepted it as a welcome. The future began exactly there.